Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. We live in an increasingly dissolute age that tries the souls of those of us attempting to live our lives in accordance with transcendent values, not the vacuous temporalities of those immersed in what the Quran refers to as the life of this world. For those who see the world as a bridge that we must cross and not a permanent abode we can place our trust in, our religious faiths center our existence in ways difficult to imagine for worldlings immersed in a more material reality. Religious freedom, the ability to worship freely, practice one's faith, and associate with like-minded believers without coercion, takes on a power and a meaning that without which life would be almost unbearable. The first freedom enshrined in America's Bill of Rights must, like all freedoms, be vigilantly guarded by those who know that each generation has a duty to renew its commitment to preserve and protect this precious legacy left to us by those who went before us as a sacred trust that we too must inevitably pass on. To feel secure in our freedoms is to reveal an ignorance of both history and human nature that invariably leads to a loss of those hard-won rights. Today, we find our first freedom again under threat, not from monsters or tyrants, but often from well-meaning ideologues who feel they know what's best for the rest of us. The platitude "live and let live" cannot be coded language for "live like us or we will make your lives miserable." In America, we have a God-given and government-protected right to live our lives in accordance with our faith in our protected churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples. Moreover, the constitutional right of freedom of association, the twin half of freedom of religion, protects our right to maintain our religious institutions of education, charitable works, hospitals, and other institutions, while working with people who share our religious values. We cannot allow a secular laicism that demands its own type of religious test to take from us our civic inheritance and deprive us of our God-given rights. The National Committee for Religious Freedom takes this country's long-standing commitment to our first freedom seriously. And whether we are faithless or faithful, we should all understand that when our religious freedoms face any threat, every other freedom of perennial value faces threat. As a Muslim and the current president of a religious liberal arts college, I understand both the importance of this freedom as well as the dangers now confronting it. The Quran says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion." The verse assumes a more intuitive truth. There should be no compulsion in irreligiousness. Thank you.